Hey everybody. So I want to share a little tip I've discovered recently to save old paint from your palettes. Once you're done your painting, there's usually a lot of paint left over. It's all mixed up, and normally you just toss it down the sink or, on a paper towel in the garbage, right? Well, when you're doing a lot of painting, it's kind of nice to save this. This mixed up paint can become a gray or a brown tone, and then you're saving your paint. You're being a little bit more efficient. So it's a great little tip. I used to do a lot of paint nights, and at the end of the night, we'd have, 10 or 20 palettes full of extra paint that was all mixed up. So I thought, hey, why not save this paint? We can use it in future paintings for, an off shade. So we're probably going to end up with a brown or a gray. Just started doing it, so we'll see what happens. But essentially what you want to do is get yourself a little jar. You might just need a small jar depending on how much paint you use and how regularly you paint. So you can buy these little guys probably at the dollar store or online, Amazon. I'm going to use this little guy here. It's glass. It's got a lid, so it's airtight. Okay. And what I've done is I've actually put a little bit of white paint in there. I had some old white paint that was getting a little bit off, kind of drying out. So I thought instead of throwing that out, may as well use that. You do want to start with a decent amount of paint in your jar, because if you just put a little bit in, it'll dry out really fast. So I've kind of filled it up about a third of the way with white paint. And then I'm just going to scrape off my palette with all my extra paint in here. Now, if the paint is pretty clean, like there's no other colors mixed into it, I usually like to put it into my big paint tubes here, my big squeezy bottles. But I just don't want to risk it at this point because I don't know what's underneath there. So for this, I'm just going to put it straight into this little jar of mixed colors. And this way we're keeping this paint out of the water and we're using more of our paint. So we're being more efficient, which is good. So cleanup's going to be a lot easier on my palette. And I'll show you what's going on in here. I'm guessing we're going to get like a gray color. There's a lot of white in there right now. So this is these colors are actually really nice to use in your paintings, and sometimes they're hard to make. So this is a nice little bonus that we have this little paint on the side here to pull from. So it's pretty well mixed up. See it on the sides there. Okay. I'm just going to put the lid on that and set that aside. Ta-da!